Hello everyone, so we are back with another video, and for today we are going to do a May book wrap up. I just had the worst case of reading slump ever for this month. It was actually the worst month for me, not just in the book world, but also in my personal life as well. I just finished my synchronous class a few minutes ago, so I'm going to eat a little bit of snack before I get back to you. I started this month off with It Ain't Me Babe by the one and only author of 1,000 Boy Kisses, Tillie, and I actually rated this a 4.75 stars if I am not mistaken, and this is actually a dark contemporary romance, and it follows the story of Salome and Stykes. I don't know if I pronounced their names right, but I'm sorry in advance. Salome is like this cultured girl because she belongs in a cult, while Stykes is like the one that is liberated because he enjoys the exemplaries of the outside world. And when they met, when they were still children, and Stykes has this speech impediment and he met this young girl in the woods, he immediately fell in love. And one day when he found her injured, he is torn between choosing his side or her side. You will know that once you will read this book. You will know more details about what I meant when you read this book. This next book that I'm going to introduce to you is the one that caused my worst case of reading slump ever, and this is Love and Other Disasters by Anita. I'm never going to read this again. I gave it a 3 stars. The writing style is good, but still, this cost me my worst case of reading slump ever, so I'm not going to read it again. But it is a story of Dahlia Woodson and London Parker. London Parker is non-binary, while Dahlia, she is this girl who is lost and is trying to find the real purpose of her existence, what she really wants to do with her life. So she joins this cooking competition as well as London Parker. So they met and they get attracted to each other, and they get together, and that's it. Basically, it's not the worst, but it's one of the causes. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah, the chicken is still really loud. The next book that I read on the month of May after Love and Other Disasters is entitled Electric Idol by Katee Robert. It is actually a dark romance book. It is a story of Eros and Psyche. Eros is this assassin who is still dictated by his mother Aphrodite, and then Psyche is this intelligent woman, and then one day she finds Eros injured and offers kindness to him when they are naturally enemies. Eros gets attracted to her, and then the plot goes again. They get together, they suffer consequences, they face obstacles along the way, but still love prevails. Hooray! That's it, Anyhow, I gave this a 4 stars. It didn't really let my reading slump fully go away, but it's still one of the causes that I still continue reading. Yes. Let's proceed. I just want to boast my shelf right there. See that? That's all my TBR. Yes. The next book that I read after Electric Idol is the second book of the Dirty Air series, Collided. It is a story of Sophie and Liam, and the dynamic is from friends to lovers. Liam is still a playboy just like Noah, but the difference is that they are already friends with Sophie. The story goes like this, like Liam found out about Sophie's list because Sophie is making up this list because she is a prim and proper lady in front of her father, but she wanted to experience the beauty of life. She wanted to enjoy the benefits of having the freedom of choice. Now, what she really wants to do, but on the things that are listed on her list are quite on the wild side. So when Liam found out about it, he wanted to help her. But that includes the attraction between them and love. But Liam has this baggage. So will he accept his baggage and move on, or will he not? Will love prevail again? I rated this a 4.75 stars again because it's missing this tiny spark that I'm looking for a 5-star book. But I think that's it. Yes, you guessed it right. This is the first book of the Twisted series, and this is what I read after collided, the second book of the Dirty Air series. This is the story of Alex Volkov and Ava Chen. So the trope is like grumpy sunshine as well as brother's best friend. Those are the tropes, and Alex is the grumpy one, Ava Chen is the sunshine one. But it's like the guy has his own baggage, and it's up to him if he either accepts it and move on, or he either loses the girl if he stays within his past. I gave it a 3.75 stars because I either love it or hate it. So yeah, it's kind of like in the middle. It's not the worst, but it's also not the best. I think that's it. The next book that I read for the month of May is written by one of the most problematic authors that I've heard of, but we are going to judge the book by its content and not by its author. So it's the book The Wall of Winnipeg by Mariana Zapata. It is the story of Aiden Graves and Vanessa Mazur, and the trope is grumpy sunshine, and the story goes like this. Like, Vanessa works for Aiden Graves, but she wanted to be on her own now. She left him, but then Aiden Graves comes for her and offers an extraordinary proposal. He wants her to marry him. And the reason, you need to read the book in order to know. But I prefer Katee and From the COVID Love more than this book. I rated this a 4 stars. It's not the same as Katee and From the COVID Love, but it's still good. It's slow burn, but I prefer those more. The next book that I read after The Wall of Winnipeg is the book that totally fully got me out of my reading slump. It's the book written by Saint Abby, the MindF series. It already includes the books from 1 to 5, and rest in peace to the author. She created this legendary piece that I'm really going to treasure my whole entire existence of reading. This is the story of Logan and Lana. Logan is an FBI agent while Lana is a serial killer. So yeah, it's quite a different trope. It's quite a unique dynamic, but I rated this a 5 stars. Go read this now, add this to your cart, check out on Amazon, check out on Shopee. Yes, you need to read this immediately. The best. I really love this. I read this only for 2 days, and it includes 600 pages. Yeah, almost 700 pages, but I read it in 2 days only. Really good. And lastly, I read the first 2 books of the Blood and Ash series. This is the first book from Blood and Ash, and this is the second book, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. It is the story of Poppy and Hawk. So it's like the same as It Ain't Me Babe dynamic. Like, the girl is cultured and she is inside this cult but doesn't know that this cult is actually the bad guy, you know, the villain of the story. And then Hawk is this liberated man, you know, and she thought that he is a normal guard because Hawk in the story is a guard, but then she figures that he's not just a normal guard, and you will figure it out once you will read the book. But I rated the first book a 4.75 stars. The second book I rated it a 4.75 stars. So yeah, they're both 4.75 stars. I'm excited to read the third book, but I would have preferred a dual POV more than just a one-person point of view. But I think that's it. Bye!